So we pitched at the end of the day, and Laurie kind of said, Steve, he says, I'll be honest with you. He said, there's a lot of really good things here, but you're not a technology guy, so they may not accept you because you're not a technology guy.
That day, I remember being somewhat nervous.
It was a good memory. I remember all the conversations we had in that room.
And they narrow it down, then you pitch, and they narrow it down further, and we got a pitch coach at that point.
I missed the call. I checked my voicemail, and it was Bob, who was my pitch coach, who told me exactly what to do. He was awesome. He's the only reason I made it through, because I was a mess. So he called, left me a message, then I called him back, and he's like, you made it, you're in.
We were having dinner with the family, and I just remember saying to my wife, I said, I think our life is going to change. So, and that's what's happened.
We've always had great ambitions with Punch Time. Coming into l-spark, we didn't really know what to expect because we have never been in a situation like this before.
In terms of day-to-day, it's constantly being mentored and pushed and brought in out of your comfort zone.
It was exciting to meet other people that were feeling that same energy and that to be so pumped up to get into this program.
What we realized right away is that by going through l-spark, there's a more rigid business process going on.
You're hitting R&D, you're hitting sales, you're hitting marketing, you're hitting financing, presentation skills, pitch skills.
Well, in terms of the larger events that l-spark's been organizing, the one that strikes me as most significant is the Brad Feld event.
I really enjoyed listening to the Lunch and Learn that Andrea Baptiste did.
Those sessions are great. I mean, specifically the marketing sessions with Susan, so informative.
Museum of Aviation was just awesome, just to be in amongst the planes, and there were some great people there to network with.
The nice thing about l-spark is there's a wide variety of talents in the mentors and full-time staff.
We very quickly got all sorts of what we thought at the time was crazy advice. And now in hindsight, I think that every single piece of advice that we got was bang on.
We definitely didn't have a lot of the business sense that we've learned in the last few months. There was a lot of things that we didn't even know we should be doing.
And one of the things that a company is constantly looking for is that help and advice.
One of the other nice things from my personal perspective is getting to know the other participants in the l-spark Accelerator and Incubator program.
I mean, I think that's a big part of the whole experience, is just working with other people that have a passion for creating whatever they're creating.
Talk Design Nation, we talk to Renewity, we actually sit close to Renewity, so there's a lot of conversation there.
You're working so close together that even though you're working on your own businesses, we were able to definitely form some relationships.
We're leaving l-spark, but I don't really feel that we're leaving. I think l-spark will always be there to support us, and we're always going to be there to return whatever we can return to anybody at l-spark or anything to do with l-spark.
I feel like coming into this, we were so green, and now we know so much more than we did before.
We might even continue on and apply for the next the Accelerator program. See if we can get into that and continue growing here.
Personally, I've very much enjoyed the time I've spent with l-spark.
You need to figure out who your target market is, what is it we're actually selling to them, and how are we going to sell it? How are we going to package it? How are we going to, take it to different levels of the market? How are we going to look for channels? And that's what we've put in place here at l-spark.
So much feels possible. So much feels possible.
Without l-spark, we wouldn't be as far along as we are today. And I think that we wouldn't be as focused as we are today. And quite frankly, maybe without l-spark, we wouldn't exist today.
Design Nation, before l-spark, we were exploring the market. Design Nation, after l-spark, we know exactly where we go.
l-spark has been, for the last 4 months, a business family, if you will.
l-spark was transformative for us as entrepreneurs and for our business.
Well, they've basically given me all the structure and the path on where to go from here and what to do.
People say, what's the most valuable thing at l-spark? I think what l-spark really does is they put you on a stage as a company, and they shine the spotlight on your company.